Plato's cave is without a doubt one of the allegories that have shaped the Western world. In a previous video, we discussed Plato's life and philosophical ideas. You might remember that the ancient Athenian philosopher is well known for his work The Republic, and the allegories included in it, such as the chariot, Atlantis, and the cave. Today, Helinika will provide you with a summary of the cave, which will be followed by an analysis. Let's dive in together. Plato's Republic is a written dialogue between Socrates and Glaucon, Plato's older brother. The main subject is justice, specifically what it means to be just and how to rule a just city-state. In Book 7 of the Republic, Socrates and Glaucon start talking about the importance of education. Socrates asks Glaucon to imagine an underground house, something similar to a cave. A group of people are held captive since childhood there. The three prisoners have their limbs tied in a way that does not allow them to move nor change the position of their heads. They're constantly facing a blank wall, and they cannot see themselves nor the rest of the people around them. The prisoners are unaware of the shadow play happening right behind them. All they can see are the shadows of the sculptures that are cast on the blank wall they are facing, and they believe that the shadows are the only real objects existing. The shadow of a tree is a tree, the shadow of a woman is a woman, the shadow of a horse is a horse, etc. The prisoners would also play games with each other, such as guessing what shadow would be cast next on the wall. The winners would be praised and considered experts of natural sciences. Socrates then hypothesized what would happen if a prisoner was freed and was able to see what was happening around him. The prisoner would be in pain by looking straight at the source of the light in the cave, which is the fire. He would immediately look away from the source of the light, since it would be too painful to look at. But if he then spent a bit more time trying to adjust to the bright light, his vision would become clearer and clearer. He would be able to notice the fire and the idols behind him. The same goes when the person would now discover the exit of the cave. Direct sunlight is much brighter than the fire in the cave. He would need even more time to see the natural environment around him and distinguish the shadows from the idols and the idols from the true forms of the objects they are depicting. The freed prisoner would then be able to look at the sun and understand how everything is related to it, such as the change of the seasons. Socrates and Glaucon agreed that people shouldn't judge anyone who may seem confused. They could be trying to adjust from the light of knowledge to the darkness of ignorance, or the opposite. And this is something that educators should always keep in mind. They should recognize that humans possess the ability to see the light, and instead of forcing the light into their eyes, they should show them the right way and let them explore the opening of the cave all by themselves. As an allegory, Plato's cave is full of symbols. Let's see the most important ones. As mentioned in the beginning, Plato's cave revolves around education and what it means to be a good teacher. There are also some clear hints of his disappointment for Socrates' death. On a deeper level, however, it is a story that advocates rationalism over empiricism. But let's take things from the beginning. When Plato wrote the Republic, it was very common to hire private tutors to teach you how to excel in philosophy, rhetoric, music, mathematics, and other subjects. These tutors were called sophists, and in Greek this implies that they possessed some type of wisdom. Plato, however, was skeptical towards them, just like Socrates. That is because the sophists were basically the predecessors of empiricists. They believed that knowledge comes from sensory experience. Touch, smell, vision, taste, and hearing. Plato, on the other hand, was a rationalist. He stated that truth is not sensory, but intellectual. Since Plato believed that our senses cannot provide us with true knowledge, he depicted sophists as puppet masters in a shadow play, keeping people chained to their sensory experiences. The philosopher was also critical of the teaching style of sophists. The latter were presenting themselves as leading experts, and they were paid to make their students memorize the knowledge they have acquired from experience. As Plato and Glaucon agreed on in the end, the good teacher is the philosopher, not the sophist, the one who helps the student find the truth through reasoning, rather than someone who believes his students are blind, in other words, incapable of reasoning. The allegory is also a cautionary tale of any reasonable person who may try to converse with an ignorant person. The ignorant person might find the reasonable person funny or weird. If the reasonable person tries to reason with them, they will probably become defensive, and if they feel threatened, they will become aggressive. Plato's bitterness for Socrates' death is clear in this allegory. Socrates, Plato's teacher and one of the most controversial thinkers of his time, was sentenced to death at the age of 71 on 399 BC. He was imprisoned and poisoned after being accused of corrupting the youth of Athens with his teachings. Plato's cave can be interpreted in different ways today. Many people see a connection between the shadows on the cave's wall with the TV screens on a modern home's walls. Do the things we watch through these screens mislead us? Do they help us think reasonably and discover the world of ideas, or do they keep us locked in the realm of sensory experience? Plato's cave has significantly influenced Western society. A great example of that is the broad use of the duality of light and darkness, which still represents knowledge and ignorance. Let's not forget that the Age of Reason in European history is known as the Age of Enlightenment. Although this time period did not abolish the evidence of senses, it did place reason as the primary source of knowledge. It was an era that put an emphasis on scientific method and reductionism. We often compare the time with the dark ages of the early medieval period.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage.
If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to subscribe and see other videos like this in the future. You can also like, comment with some recommendations for future videos, and share this video with a friend who might find it interesting. It was a pleasure sharing this video with you, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!